approach to justice, transforming Krakoa's through law.
I'm sorry, I could barely hear that. I could barely hear that knocking.
Oh, you barely heard us knocking?
Were you taking a nap?
No, I'm in this room right next door, so basically it's the window to the
patio?
It's the garage. That's the garage door. I don't know if I pointed that out to you guys these last 6 times that you've been stopping by.
Yeah.
Every time I try to call your guys' place, I get hung up on or I get mistreated. That number you left for Mohammed, I guess it got him upset. Whoever's in charge of him, they're not coming back until June. Are you apparently aware of that? That their supervisor is not available until June with you guys?
No.
And you guys both work with people at this nonprofit?
Well, no, I don't think.
Is there a lot of people at your nonprofit?
It's huge, yeah. There's a lot of different departments, and the number that I gave you was usually it's his direct number.
Is my dad even here?
Because I
Did you
didn't
guys check my dad first?
No, brought you some notebooks
Why?
in case you want to draw or write down your stuff.
I've needed help getting the shit taken care of that my dad has been ignoring for such a long time. I called the cops in February 1st because he was starving me. You guys had shown up, and then you started, what, making accusations against my mental state? Because I called the cops. Should I just call them now?
No, you don't need to call the cops.
Well, I need these reports done for these kid cases. You guys have been fucking me around for 3 months?
Well, maybe we shouldn't stick around.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know, should I leave this for him? I don't think he wants it, huh? It's not in a mood. Well, Ivan, I guess we'll go if you don't feel like talking to us.
Ivan, can those bags of stuff, can somebody haul them away?
The little cigarette butt got cut underneath my foot. I tried to pull this crap out before, and it is just a bunch of crap. But last time you guys had stopped by, you did, well, second to last time, you did stop by and hand that over.
Well, you know what, Ivan, we thought,
This I can't really use too well because it's technology that's a little bit over my learning curve.
yeah,
You have a notebook there that's way better
Well,
than
that's
how
why, 'cause
this
you,
must look.
well, you like to write. That's the only reason we brought it.
I did like to write maybe, but maybe draw a lot more because I might be dyslexic.
Or draw. You can
Or
do either.
draw, no, none of this stuff is getting the help that it requires under maybe the letter of law. So these ones were like video games, right? So what I did is I just held the thingy and then I drew a line and then I kept moving it. But if they had nothing to do with, you know, important stuff, like this folder might be full of important stuff that you guys left, but there might be some details in it that are incomplete. Like if 3 pages were only printed out of out of 6 pages, or front and back. So underneath here, it's just a peek around the corner, but how bad things might get disorganized. So you guys don't show up with a camera or anything like that. You don't have the ability to just
No,
say,
we don't.
oh, well, okay, well, let's see. Oh, well, looks like they put some effort into maybe starting some things. So there is like an actual like mode to the madness. It's a walkway that goes around. But that's a door to save because a neighbor fixed the door that's on top of the well. The well, a door as a thing on the thing, it's a little bit neater. This chair was a roommate's, but it snapped because I was too fat, and it got cut. But it was a really interesting, like a European type of like mail order it, or you get it at a special. But it was so long ago that maybe some of the stuff didn't get upkept, and this could have been just maybe one little, like even if this was weighted down or something like that to make it not dusty in there.
Yeah.
And the only other corner is that it's like a door jamb, but it just needs the top half because it has the bottom half already there. Across the street, that's a lady passed away. She used to live there her whole life with her grandsons, 2 of them. But by the time I was born, the older one moved on. But her daughter, they got in a car accident or something. And I don't need to be wasting your time or anything. Oh, I can smell the evergreens.
You know what, Ivan?
You guys have time. It would be appreciated if you guys could help a little bit more with like the thought processes. But you don't need me yelling at you. You're bringing stuff that actually might help convert things like this to actual like content. But the saving the things, you both might know history a little bit. This was in one of those things out there. It gets blown out, but I don't need to be losing certain things. Like there's newspapers and stuff like that. But this is one of these. What are these called?
Karate?
It's a pamphlet.
Yeah, for.
And this is advertising for one of these guys that came by my 6th grade, middle school. And if you notice, it might show you his name and stuff like that. It might show you like, look how dated some of this text is and stuff like that. For you guys kind of being on my same age of computer awareness. They used to have the
Yeah,
and
the
you'd have to rip
typewriter.
off the
Oh,
the dots off the edge, and then
Yeah.
each ditto had like, it was perforated because it was just one long sheet. But then this was like the next step, but back then you can go to like Kinko's. There's no Kinko's no more, I don't think. But this is a Ninja Turtle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the
Donatello.
the original Ninja Turtles, you guys might have been still partying it up and stuff like that, you know. Over here, my grandfather had put in this basketball pole. So at the base there, where the squares have that tiny little square, he took the effort that night to have us like dig just that square. So I'd be sitting there on the there's a step and then another step. So that yellow block never existed there before. And even this type of thing getting in the way for people. There used to be people would knock into it a lot. So we had to cut off this side with that side. But this side still exists. Those little tiny changes and stuff like that, piece by piece. Like my dad doesn't get out there to do, for the last 5 years, right? If I've been asking him for the last 10 or 15 years, how do we get the pump hose? We have to cover it during the winter so that it doesn't break the mechanic of the pump thing.
Yeah.
And then there's one up under here, and it gets blankets put around it. So it's those types of little keeping up with the maintenance and stuff like that. If I had problems mentally, this stuff gets offensive because I don't understand if my sister has the credible cases of bipolar schizophrenia or manic depressive disorder, my ability to be able to articulate and stuff like that, it's not even on the same page of the DSM-5. So getting told that I need to take a drug that is not helping with the effort that I went through therapy with my family therapist from 2009 until 2018, calling the local law enforcement, if we could call them so that you guys can get like some kind of a release of information to the MCT officers. MCT is these guys.
Mobile crisis team.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then there's a CIT. But you guys could do a way better job at stuff like
You know what,
this
that-
if it has to go to a court.
Ivan.
Because that judge is gonna be upset if it's not the full amount of information.
Ivan,
But
you
if
know what?
HIPAA law,
I was just, I'm
This
just
one
wondering,
did.
what do you think the date is today? I wonder what the date is.
the 20th of May,
Oh, good.
That's my dad's birthday.
well, that's why we might get along, because you might be normalized to his personality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about saying something like, are they autistic? I might not be autistic, I might not be Asperger, but some of those things, because I might have had my head damaged by getting it cracked up against the wall, that might have been an offset from any kind of first grade education and further on. So that's why I was doing all of this, you know, note taking and stuff like that. It was the only thing I could grab.
You know what, Ivan,
There's
now, Ivan, what's the day of the week? What's
My
today?
doodle.
Do you remember what, you know what today is?
It's not a Saturday or Sunday.
No, it's a Tuesday.
Thank you. Is that a test?
No, this is what I was gonna ask you. We think it'd be a good idea for us to have a certain day that we come to visit you.
Are you guys still like legit and like if we make mistakes, it's still able to fix problems rather than make it upsetting for you guys? Because I don't want to be stepping on your guys' toes. You're really nice. This is like number 6th.
Yeah.
Like the 6th.
Yeah.
I have my Bertinas in too, so that's why I might be listening a lot. But
So
I really
what-
appreciate you guys.
What day's a good day for us to come to visit you?
Yeah, that's the timeline.
The what?
The timeline with each year, and it goes all the way back
You can see
into.
that good, that
19
small.
Well, I've done a bunch of these doodles, so when I wanted to apply the same concept again,
Oh.
you're cool. I'm sorry, what you're saying. I didn't want it to be
Well,
like
no,
I'm
yeah.
disregarding your aspect.
Yeah. What's a
like,
good day for us to come and see you in the
I don't care.
You don't care?
It's
Okay.
just it's not that I'm able to like plan anything out. So Arzia, you both are Native Americans, right? Like maybe I'm like 1717 is when they sent over the tanners, and then one of them on the land in the Carolinas, they got to hook up with the daughter of the chief. So then they got like kicked out or something like that. I don't know if a half caste is allowed to try to say. I don't have much to say about what you guys have gone through, because you might have gone through a lot worse than more white people. I don't even know if there's like characteristics that are accurate. Like I think that they might have lied a lot about like
Oh, yeah. they-
fire water and stuff like that. It's not a genetic like disposition. Like they just lied about stuff, and then now we're starting to actually find out. I can go get a blood test and they can test me to find out if I have the same genetic predisposition to my older sister having bipolar schizophrenia but there's two different forms. If it's environment, like if I get my head cracked open, the dodgeball hitting my head up against the wall, that's what I needed to get tested by my general practitioner.
Did you ever?
They weren't allowing it. I had my dad in the sessions to do everything, and the guy was still giving us, you can't get the x-rays because it might give you cancer. But they gave my dad a CAT scan when he fell over here. I couldn't lift him up because he's so big. I haven't been doing any kind of physical
Work.
thing. It's gone in 3 weeks. If I used to do a milk crate, it's 4 gallons of milk. And you pick those up, but you stack them on the other ones, and you can get 2 of them together, but you have to really do the, if you don't lift with your things, right? I used to work at a health club, New Mexico Sports and Wellness up at Tramway in Montgomery. So everything that I was doing for the Social Security applications, it was compiling every single time I was messing up year after year, and that therapy was not getting the focus to say, oh, well, I'm finding out that the mandate to report, you guys might have a better pulse on the knowledge of things to understand these things. They came up on February 1st, and then this is the little notepad that the cops use. So then on Facebook, I was able to at least post what I could record off the stupid camera that I have. But at least if I talk clearly enough, I'm not mumbling, right? But if I start to articulate things that are based off of, is that called a beret? The thing that holds your hair
A
back?
beret.
A beret? Okay, I love it. I'm sorry, it just got me off track.
You know, a beret's a hat.
A beret is the military.
Yeah.
The French, I
Yeah.
guess. But it's real
You'd
cute.
look good in a beret.
Oh, I would have appreciated maybe a little bit. So I get, I don't have the id or the ego to match clout chasing. So you might encounter a lot of people that are on the street that might start spouting religion or celebrity status, or I don't know, whatever spectrum of difficulties people that have legitimate mental conditions have. But you guys have been in this type of business that you know that there are movies of the week type things where there's a mom and a daughter, and the daughter doesn't know that the drug that the mom has them on in a fucking wheelchair. It's important to find out, oh, is this drug even legitimate? Well, I just got 28 grams of medical marijuana from my dad yesterday, but he said that they didn't need to take the card because they gave it for free. That's 28 grams of weed. That's like $700 on the street, in the 90s. And for free, it shoots up a bit of a red flag for me. It's really close to my birthday. Your dad's birthday's today. If he's still alive, I really hope for the best of health.
He turned 90.
Compared to my dad's dwindling, feeble design that he had been going on, I went to family therapy and I brought everything up every single week. So I should be allowed to put that request in at a release of information that the licensing board, the New Mexico Department of Health, should be allowed to make requests from a civilian level, go through the police or any other people that specialize, and not waste your guys' time. I like the look here.
Oh.
I like that. I wanted to go to art school to learn about sculpting, and that's where architects go for 8 years. But sculpting is the little thing that they get to play around with. But I loved it when I got a brief moment to go to England or Japan. And those were flukes because of dropping out of high school. If I wasn't a drug addict and I didn't get in trouble because I got in a fight with my sister and she called the cops, when I called 911 in 2017 and 2019, I had gotten my interview for the trying to report, and that's when it started dawning on me that something was about the prosecutor's office was pressing charges against me, not Monique. Monique was sitting on my side of the courtroom with my mom and my dad, and they found that lawyer that was missing half an arm, or he was missing that whole arm. He only had one arm, and then that's where this lady, Smith, might have been able to find my juvenile records a lot quicker than you guys showing up 3 extra times since that got dropped off. And when I ripped that open, I didn't have anything to jot down the notes about medication. But I really do believe that from what I've been studying and going to film class, I dropped out of high school a lot. When I got to my second senior year, I had the opportunity to go and take electives instead of actual classes. So that's why I got to help with like teachers, grading the schoolwork for students. I got to teach how to swing dance for a whole day because I got a free pass. I didn't know how to dance, and if a girl from work asked me to go to winter ball, that put different things in line for me to try after rehab. So again, rehabilitation as a juvenile, my juvenile records might be sealed, but they might be at a higher rating to be that level of concern, to ask people help, because someone like my father might be presenting to me a lot differently than somebody that's a professional like our therapist or whatever.
Yeah.
So he might say something that is sound, but for me, I'm having to figure things out on a longer.
And kind of explain it.
Well, and then I over-explain stuff, and then I
Yeah.
write really bad. Like
Well,
my
that's something
handwriting
that
could be
you're-
really ugly.
Yeah,
But here's people in Texas that they're of child abuse things. How do I get help with my juvenile cases? I showed you some of the pictures really quick, but it might have offended you guys. It's a way that when I remember it, I'm seeing you guys being a lot younger.
yeah.
Now it's taken too much time.
Let me ask you something. How do you sleep? How much sleep do you get at night?
Do you want to try to see what it looks like in there? Do you want to
Well,
see the
we can
tour?
see from there.
Yeah,
We
or
got a good
you
idea.
guys need to go to Facebook.
I
Go
don't-
to Facebook, and it's like this.
So how much sleep do you get a day or a night?
Well, I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and I might have had nightmares ever since I was a little kid, so I had to sleep with a...
Light on.
I really trust you guys so
I
much,
still-
but I'm
I
angry
still-
all the time,
I-
so it doesn't mean that I'm angry at you guys.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
But you guys have been recorded a few different times. If you would care, you don't seem like egotistical type people.
No.
There's something called an id, an ID, and it's supposed to go along with the ego, but I don't know how to use the word right.
You're using it right. Sounds right to me.
And this stuff, I hate this stuff. But I just got a message from Martin Short, and
Martin Short.
yeah, you want to see?
The comedian?
Yeah. You guys have no idea.
He's funny.
See, Martin Short, okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton of catfish out here, though.
Wow.
Here's somebody named Sean Mendez. You have a grandson that might actually know who that is? Another catfish. They're asking for money.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm after them in a different way that I think I could really cause them some harm. But they might want to go after me for causing them problems to their business, which is legal. So that's
I don't
just
even know how to
practicing with
do
these
all-
guys across the street.
Do all that stuff.
Oh, no, I don't either.
So
Yeah.
Ivan, what's your diet like? What do you?
My dad starves me every single day. It was like
I thought
once
he was
every 3 days.
bringing you food.
No, if he wants to provide any of the details on when he goes and uses the ATM card or gets the receipts, I've held on to the receipts for the last 5 years trying to, but everything that therapy for years was just a build-up to, that it had gone against everything because it was that dark empathy. He can use it all against building up stuff, break his car, my grandfather's car, and you saw the fender flying off of it. And now the yellow one is missing, but this car here, that confuses me. I don't know if there's a complete stranger in my grandparents' home right now, like cleaning or something like that, or if that's somebody that's going out with him in the yellow car to go to get on his swimming trunks and go swimming, because he might have started that program when I had mentioned it for my grandfather. That's one of the conditions for narcissism.
So
I
Ivan-
thought of it first.
Ivan, so what kind of a mood are you in most of the time? How do you describe your mood?
Over medicated because medical marijuana has a THC.
How much THC you got in your?
I don't know.
You
Well,
don't know.
well, I
It has the
remember.
grams on there.
I remember. You might know more than me. I remember back in high school when I got rehab, they gave a test, a cannabinoid test for my drug test, and they said it was a 150 at the top score, and that's when I started to think of, like, in film class I might figure out a way to do the writing jokes. It's the only test in school that you don't want to get a high score on, but I need to word it better. A drug test. So the only test you want to fail when you're in high school, like a driving test, you don't want to fail that. A chemistry test, you want to fail that. But a drug test, you want to fail that. They try to do this stuff. Like, did you ever hear about the David Copperfield sex assault case? Come on. It disappeared. You have to do the hand flourish. But they have a lot of sexy ladies doing the cut in half and stuff. He had somebody get in from point A to point B, and they didn't see the thing, and they hit it. So that was more of a case that came up. But yeah, there was a case for one of the girls getting, groped or whatever. But they're in Vegas too, so it's a legal prostitution type thing. And I don't know if that's kind of an iffy thing out here, because you guys might be able to find out a lot more with children that are homeless. If anybody has the ability to help them advocate for child sexual assault, or looking up
Maybe
the
CYFD.
registered sex offenders.
We don't get a lot of children where we work. We don't get a lot of children.
But it's any under the age of 14. And when I was in film class first with my dad, we had a kid show up, and he was supposed to get paid, but he was 14, and they should still pay that kid because it's like federal things. You're looking like you need a lien or something. I don't want to keep you guys, on your
Well, we're
feet all
gonna
the
have to
time.
get going.
And you
It's
always need to go.
4:15.
But like, I needed a rush on this stuff a long time ago, and
What
there
else
was
do you
no way.
need that we can bring you?
This type of stuff, if you don't mind, I would like
How
to
about
try to
arts,
use it.
art supplies, like more markers, more things to draw on?
Well, right behind the door
I'm here
here.
about you some shades. Remember you said that one time you wanted some?
have to
I don't
do
know if
that.
they'll fit you, but
I have like this weird, it's behind the corner. But like I have these types of things, like a free-fold punch.
you want stuff like that?
No. It's like,
office stuff?
it's like right behind the door here.
When are we gonna get all those boxes out of your house?
Well, that's the thing, is like,
We can help you do that.
there was a list on the recycling garbage.
You need to get that stuff out.
Could you guys help with a guideline of what the garbage?
What's
company-
recyclable, and I'll bring you a list.
Rio Rancho had something that was different, and Albuquerque had something that, and I put it on the fridge. But like, we have two of the normal ones and one of the green ones.
Yeah.
And the idea is that if contacting the
Recycle.
the people, maybe on the day that they just do recycling,
Yeah.
to,
Fill that up.
well, I have one green one, but there's two black
Blue one.
ones,
Oh,
right?
black ones.
So that, what if I just said, well, I needed to get extra cardboard, but it's good cardboard. Some bad cardboard is the pizza boxes.
Yeah, those are
But
bad.
if you examine it first and cut away the oil grease part,
Yeah.
maybe the ungreased part can still get, like, that's still half of the container if it's like just the lids and they don't
Yeah.
have any grease stains. But it's just who to supervise. It's just those types of things. So a manager, a supervisor, case manager, case worker, those types of things. It's not just you guys, but it's anything that I have going in my past. I need to speed run it because you grandkids might know video games and stuff like that. They might know the term walkthrough. So it used to be back when I was in the 80s. You could go to an arcade and you could put a quarter in and you can get pretty far, but then you could just like, the other kids would come in and they put their quarters up and you'd fight each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You might get some of these things, but you might have kids yourself. So the stress level of being able to reach out to my mom or my dad to say, there's enough of this valid information. There's enough to show that you guys didn't know jack shit because you're not jumping on the team. You're doing your own things. But my mom and my dad, my older sister is 18 months older than me. And if you guys can find her in Las Vegas, if she's about to die, my dad apparently drove up there last week and said she's not looking that good. He said that a couple of times before, and I've not been able to assess the situation fast enough because I might have head damages that make me between first grade and third grade in maturity. So if I'm disrespecting you guys at all by yelling, by saying that there's a video camera that's recording you right here, there's a video camera up there, but it's a fisheye lens, so it records your, like,
Movement.
well, it records the people that come into, like, the dome of the fisheye, so it will pull in information. But they might not ever review it or save it or anything like that because that's my cousin's. But her dad is a sheriff in the family that might have turned his back on me getting kidnapped and apparently it only being a couple.
Ivan, we're gonna have to get going.
But that's the disappointing thing is that on Facebook, I might have done all this writing to other people
I'm gonna
and forgot. Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
Well,
might
we're
try to
gonna-
use these. Let me,
Just check them out.
are they supposed to,
They're UV protected.
but are they supposed to fit on the head?
I don't know if they fit you, I don't know.
And then these got broke.
I told you we can try to get those fixed.
Oh, my dad might have ran through a lot of stuff too, but I don't know.
Try
if
the
it-
sun, because it's supposed to have UV. So go to the sun part in here.
Oh, I won't stare at it.
No, just, I mean, just walk out, it's supposed to show like clearer. That's
Is it-
it. We have the plastic on it, so.
Does it fit okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
For the most part, I would stay like in the shade, but they do still have that, extra
That
layer.
little UV, yeah, that's why I was like, that might be cool. If you wanna come out here, do your work right here, you can put those on.
But even like being
Have
able to
your
use
space.
Google Earth,
Yeah,
you don't
I
have to
love-
leave the desk.
I love
And-
Google Earth.
But I need to get my work completed so that it's not wasting time. If there was an amount of time to appeal whatever Mohammed was trying to say, oh, this guy's got schizophrenia. Well, no, my sister has more legitimate case of schizophrenia. I have head damages that my doctor should have signed off the approval, and I got the case coordinator. My dad showed up here lockdown saying that that guy might have tried to make contact. So any dates on his phone might help to just kind of get an outline. It's 5 years to kind of say, yeah, we've messed up a lot, but everybody around the world had to go through COVID. So there might be some kind of like push and pull on things to get some kind of, I'm an adult for a lot of these cases that are bad now, but these juvenile cases, they have no statute of limitations. I have a difficulty with remembering passwords. So like it'll do like a username and a password, but they're just like a few different social media things. But it's completely brain damage that I can't keep up with stuff.
Well, at least you're writing it down. That tells you right there that you know to write it down.
But with you guys, it's maybe that there are a lot more steps that you, as like a nonprofit for 30 years, have come across these types of things. It's not just a notebook. This stuff is awesome because it organizes, it keeps, these are really cool because they're two-toned. Look at that, that's awesome. This is cool, legal pad. That's extra long. That means, but there is a version of this that they use that's like this big and it stands on a thingy.
Oh,
That's-
when you do a presentation.
That's, so like a list of like, they seem to not be as important or something, but I think that might help a lot more, like a whiteboard. I don't do that. There's a, on this wall right here, there's a bulletin board, But what I needed to do is I needed to box things. There's some banker boxes like right at the foot there, but I wasn't able to get them out and start putting stuff in them. There's a whole category of things I need to box, but they're almost ready to go. If you like video stores, that was the idea, was to throw them up on the walls. But I need to take them and put them in boxes so that I can get paperwork and stuff like that.
And label them.
And use that to organize things. So that
That's right.
you guys coming over, I can show you the work that I've done.
You
But
know
you
what,
guys have to leave.
we're gonna have to run, because we're running into traffic.
But I am upset that you guys come by and I don't get much more done. This is a really good Chinese food place. You guys get to go, you get a lunch. Do they pay you for your lunch hour?
No.
Anything under an hour, they should be not having you clock out for. And if you want extra help, I can get you guys extra funding. Because there's like $1 million cases with kids. Yeah, this is up on Wantabo and Eubank.
Is it good?
My mom was pregnant with me.
What's the name of it?
It's called
Chins.
Chins.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that place.
So my mom was pregnant with me, right?
Uh,
And then that's where they lived. My dad and my mom was right across the street from there. So I have this like, it's not true, but I say that like I have this addiction to their egg rolls.
yeah.
And when I worked at Dairy Queen, I would get the day shifts. So the inspector would come in. So I would always have to be on test mode,
Yeah.
right? So I'm really concerned at making sure that everybody that I have to ask help or yell at or stuff like that, they're getting as best as possible. If I'm falling short, that might be my own inability to learn how to learn different kind of skills and stuff like that. But I needed to try to speed run this type of stuff. If you guys don't know that term yet, it's just trying to cut corners where it can
okay.
be. And then get that final goal, the tortoise and the hare thing. Like, I have all these goals and stuff to go back to school, get a dog to jump on me if I start freaking out, because I can't wait for a pill at a class, because there's all the other students that want to get the job done. But a dog jumping on me can get me to do my counting and my box breathing or other skills. But it needs a lot of organization so that I can get that home set up to have animals. They've had about a dozen dogs maybe since I've lived here, but to renovate like a run at the base of all the trees and put a little baby fence up, that could be like a dog run with grass, and they can always be, but it can be shared between cousins. Just always shut this off. That grass is this crabgrass, so when you step on the
Sticky.
yeah, really, but it dips so much. It's because my grandfather would take the hose, and it's one of these big hoses, and it would just go flat with it, you know, but he floods it. So my recent idea was to throw a tarp down first and let the hose out.
better get going.
Yeah, let me,
We better
Okay,
go.
well,
I
I'm
bet,
sorry I pull all this stuff out and it's threatening.
well, thanks
We're
for,
not threatening. It's just what you're telling us about, and that's
It's
good. But we
my
gotta go.
inability to find any help. I've gone ahead and tried to reach out to different people on Facebook and email and stuff like that. If there was somebody better suited, like an advocate, that would have been much greater help. But if my dad needed to be put on maybe a registry because of abuse, if my mom needed to be put on a registry because of abuse, those types of things, and having to ask my parents help with, they're more than likely not willing to offer any help whatsoever. So then the authorities saying that if I don't have anybody to corroborate, that sounds like a major threat to the process of any of these systems. And if I needed to get this appealed so that that judge,
Reach out to your attorney.
I don't have an attorney.
You do have an
You
attorney.
guys showed up
That's
with somebody,
Jeannie.
but I didn't know what was going on with that whole thing. So
Jeannie's your
it's an
attorney.
awesome opportunity. If I mess up all of this stuff, does it make it so that I'm stuck with a false claim against me? And then my time runs out because I don't put up a fight knowing that I needed to fight some kind of
Well,
corruption?
you have your own rights too, and that's why
Right.
Jeannie is your attorney.
But that made no sense, how you guys got shown up onto my doorstep in the first place. How she got shown up into my doorstep in the first place. If I called 911 to report kids' cases, and then I've had to make contact with anybody that's running for mayor now, because it's a candidate year that they're gonna have an election for mayor. So if you guys work for a nonprofit and you have anybody that works in legislature or helps with you guys' fundraising and stuff like that, year by year, there must be some people that might actually have the hat to put on to help communities, especially if they don't want to ruin reputations of like neighbors that have rehabilitated, like somebody registered on the.
Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Can you guys look up my address on the registered sex offenders sites?
Okay, I'll look at your address.
Do you have my, do I have a phone number to reach you or an email?
803 is your address, right? Viejo?
This is a 808.
Oh, 808.
Is there like an email?
It's Deborah, O-R dot
With an H, no H.
H
Okay.
dot Heron, J-I-R-O-N at FNCH.org.
And that, all that could be like lowercase?
Yeah, okay?
I'll try to email that, but I'll try to add like an Angus321 at Facebook. But you might have time to, you
Well,
know, scroll.
send me something legit and I'll look at it, okay? That way I know it went through.
Yeah,
And then you
guys
have,
been really awesome.
and you have your email, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a
when you-
Yahoo.
when
It's
you
a
s-
Yahoo.
Well, when you send that, then I'll know what yours is.
You know, you guys have been really awesome. I'm sorry to give you up my opinion. Go through the options and things again too. But just be safe and everything like that. The idea was like maybe the winnings from the court cases. My mom and my sister might have been ideal for putting into like a house that, but my mom could still have her apartment. They could put my sister on like a rural thing. But if she's gonna die, could I give you guys her name in that email? Check on her. Hers is, I'm Ivan and she's Monique, so they're not normal. But I mean, I need to be kind of, Did anybody on the tribal land actually take on cases outside of it or to make food? I contacted some of the casinos, so they might be willing to help with stuff in the casinos too. They're the tribal police officers. Like they work for the security of the casinos, the police department. I don't know if it's crossing the line to ask people outside Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office or Albuquerque Police because they don't seem to want to be doing any work on this type of cases. So that's why you guys are supposed to. I just wrote this guy from Americana last night. If you check that out, it's really Americana. You might recognize the guy from What is that actor that puts that on show? That's yeah, I wrote. Sorry again. Hello? Is anybody in here? Hello? Hello?
Where's the president? With Bruce Springsteen attacking President Trump while on tour in England. Trump responds, calling Springsteen overrated, obnoxious, and a jerk. On Truth Social, the president said the 20-time Grammy winner, quote, ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back into the country.
as into something less rigid and more interpretive.